Hello, good evening, you guys, and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. As you guys come into the room, please do hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I hope that you guys are doing okay. I know that I am. I always express the importance of hitting the like button because the like button helps to keep the video in the algorithm. So make sure you guys please like, share, subscribe, comment, and all of those wonderful things. You guys, it seems like Black Youngster is back outside. I was on vacation and I just happened to log on to I logged on to something and I saw a video of his come down the timeline, and I was like, I wonder if it's old, if it's an old video. And then um it wasn't. Okay, he's back. um he hasn't really performed since 2021. Okay, he kind of I guess he gave himself 3 years. They he well, let me backtrack, because he did drop albums like Black Sheep 1, Black Sheep 2, and I think he did a Black Sheep 3. Okay, it didn't make a lot of noise. You all know that when Young Dolph was murdered, Black Youngster's name came up in it a lot. Okay, we had the insurance man who basically implicated him and put him in it. I believe the insurance guy, he didn't really have a reason to lie about it. I don't think the insurance man wanted to testify. From my understanding, well, according to Thaddeus Matthews, the insurance man, his family went into hiding. Okay, because they was receiving all types of threats after he gave Thaddeus that information. Now, the thing about it is, like I said, he did a show in Dallas that had about 30 people, like 2 weeks after Dolph was unalived. Um, and of course, we saw all of the craziness that was going on before Dolph was killed. When Youngsta got into the game, I think that, and a lot of people believe that Youngsta was signed to go at Dolph and to ultimately do what it was that happened to Dolph, which was take his life. And the reason I say that is because we all see the evidence of it, when Dolph was being hit at and all of that. A lot of stuff was being instigated. There was not an issue. It wasn't supposed to be an issue with Youngster and Dolph. That um, I do believe that um, what's the word that I'm looking for? It was instigated. Okay. Um, Maybe in the beginning, Youngster thought, well, hey, I'll sell a few albums. The same thing they accused Dolph of. I mean, they needed him to have a beef, for him to go up. But I believe Gotti had something more sinister in mind, which is why you start to see him being popped at and all of that. And what straight dropping them ultimately did to him, Youngster and them and his little crew was doing the exact same thing. And you know what's so sad about it? I don't really think Youngster had a beef with Dolph. I think Youngster got caught up in that sinister world of just stupidity, right? And got pulled into a cesspool, because that's what would happen. You will, all of these energies and entities, and making him feel like this is what he needed to do, and instigating this and that. Because I really don't believe what happened to Darius. I think she was trying to name him to Darius, but I believe she spelled it to Darius. But what happened to TD, I don't think had anything to, from my understanding, I don't think it had anything to do with this Young Dolph situation. Okay. Although, remember, the insurance agent said that, I do believe that Youngster um, had to give an excuse of why he hated Dolph. He didn't know why he hated him. It was just secondhand hate. Okay, this is something he needed to do in order to make Yo Gotti happy. Unfortunately, he put Yo Gotti in a God-like position where he should have only had God. Okay, and I know a lot of people. Okay, so he's coming. He's gonna be performing in Inglewood at the Minglewood in October. Now, I haven't really heard any bad things about the Minglewood. Um, but of course, I don't go out like that. But I know it's an intimate. It's not a big club. Okay, it's a club. It's a club like in Midtown. It's not real big. Okay, but you have quite a few people that go there and perform. Okay, I think that's kind of where he started out at. Okay, doing those types of venues and all of that. When before he even got with Gotti. Okay, when he was trying to build a name for himself. Hold on, I'm trying to see the Minglewood. It's in Midtown, and I'm trying to see how many people it can seat. Hold on. I ain't gonna even search for it. I'm gonna ask Chat GPT. Okay, let's see. Let's see how many people it hold. Okay, it can hold 15 to 1900. Okay, it says capacity around 11 to 1600. Okay, so we'll see. Um, I mean, I'm pretty sure now that I'm saying this, Yo Gotti and them will, because Yo Gotti is a fan of the show. He a real big fan of the show. So he wouldn't want, even though he basically threw Youngsta to the wolves, okay, and was gonna make him a sacrificial lamb, okay. I think that's why, before he realized that the feds were on top of his head, they was gonna send Youngsta out. They knew somebody was going to have to go down for what I'm talking about in retaliatory situations for what happened to Dolph. He didn't want it to be his brother. He didn't want it to be himself. And I think when Youngster was performing and saying things, I believe that they was egging that on. And they wanted to build up a hate, not only to for them to look at Youngster as being behind this, but for that negative energy as far as retaliatory situations to make the situation even. It would, it would be Youngster. Okay, I maybe Youngster caught on at some point. If he didn't, Youngster, I mean, the whole law enforcement felt the same way that I felt, because I mean, the ones that I know, you were gonna be the sacrificial lamb, okay. And I believe at some point, Yo Gotti, I mean, Youngster may have caught on to this, although I don't believe that Youngster is innocent in this situation, right? And I have to be honest. The truth of the matter is, and I think that some of, the people around Youngster felt this way too. When this situation happened with Juke, although I don't really know what the situation is, I think a lot of people thought that it would have been Youngster, that it had happened to. Although I'm happy that it wasn't. I hate that it happened to Juke too. Okay, it really it hurt me when it happened to Juke, even though I didn't know Juke, because I hate seeing black men gunned down. Okay, like I might talk a lot of shit and cuss them out and all of that when they do things that they should not do. But as far as seeing them gunned down and all of that, a lot of the things that they do to other people's family members, I wouldn't want to see a repetitive cycle of that happening to even them. And so, I don't know if Youngster is off the hook for this. I don't know. I really don't believe that he is, as it relates to this, because, you know, I, I don't think Young Dolph case is closed. We know that at some point Cornelius will be squared away. Straight drop is squared away for now, and because I think he's got some type of thing going with the Supreme Court or something like that. You got Govan, who was found not guilty, okay, who says that he has has access to Youngster, but he's in jail for something else. We don't know how long he's going to get. And I think a lot of people thought it was suspicious when Youngster, after this Young Dolph situation, Youngster didn't do any interviews, and that's because he wanted to avoid being asked about this Young Dolph situation. I don't think he would have known how to lie, or nor would he have known really what to say, because you got a lot of crafty interviewers that could have really went after him, right? But now coming back and performing in Memphis, I don't know if that's a good thing. Hey, I'm pretty sure that the police and stuff will be out there. I'm sure he'll have top notch security. It's funny how these dudes, I was thinking about that earlier today. I was like, wow, I think it's so sad. Like black men who are supposed to be protecting and the leaders of their communities are actually endangered, dangerous species as it relates to their women and their children and other black men that are supposed to be standing post. They become dangerous species in our communities, and so you get to thinking about, what hope do we have when we have men like Youngster who think that it is okay to follow a man like Yo Gotti who is soulless, because I believe Youngster has a soul. I do. I don't believe that Youngster is soulless. I wouldn't go as far as saying that, and I'm gonna tell you why. Like I said, I grew up around his family, and even you ain't never heard. I don't know if I've ever heard Yo Gotti. He'll start referencing God now when he hear me say this, you know. But Youngster has always referenced God. And I know a lot of people call God name and don't believe in God. Their actions say something else. But I think at the core, he has a soul. And I know Youngster does not want to have to go and do no time, but I don't think Youngster is out of the woods as it relates to Dolph or some of this other stuff that's up in the air that could be going on. So, but I guess that has nothing to do. I mean, he's still a performer. He wants to perform and make a living just like Dolph did. Okay, Dolph wanted to continuously make a living and perform and be here for his children, be a black man that was here for his kids. Okay, just like Youngster, I know where Youngster's family come from, the trenches. Okay, Dolph brought his family out of the trenches. He came from the trenches also. So another black man that wanted to do exactly what Youngster is doing. Okay, that's all he wanted to do. And so I know Youngster wants to live and be able to, because he has children, to be a father, a black man to his children. But yet they didn't see fit for another black man that, they put themselves in a godlike position and played a part in taking another black man down. And so every time I think about Youngster and Gotti and all of them, that scripture comes to my mind. Be not deceived, for God is not mocked. Whatever a man sows, that's just what he's going to reap. And with me saying that, I don't want to see anything as far as death. I'll never happen to Tammy's son. That's number one. Because she's already had enough hurt. Just like Young Dolph's family, though. She's already had enough hurt as it relates to losing her children. So, no, I wouldn't want to see anything happen to him other than whatever part that he played in a anything malice as it relates to Young Dolph or anybody else, okay? I would like to see justice served, okay? And regardless to whether I want it or wish it, it don't mean a hill of beans, because I don't have to wish nothing on anybody. Whatever a man sows, that's just what he's going to reap. The laws of the earth has already set a date and a time for a person to reap what they have sown. And they've sown some bad seeds. And we all have witnessed that. Now, him being over there at Minglewood Hall, don't know how safe that is because you can have a whole lot of security around you. But if the folks want you, they'll send a sniper. Okay, they'll shoot straight through the security and you too. All right. So I don't. I mean, I think that's bold. I'm sure he's trying to make a statement, but I hope they're not setting him up. Did somebody encourage him to come back to Memphis? I don't think it's safe. I don't. But did somebody get in his head and encourage him because they're trying to get him too? Okay, who got some insurance on him? I mean, when you not with these record companies anymore, they don't have to dissolve your insurance policies. I took an insurance class. I gotta go take the test. Okay, I got the hours. They don't have to dissolve your policy. Okay, so has somebody egged him on? I just don't think that that is a wise decision. It could very well be successful. Okay, and he may feel confident enough to come back and do it two, three more times. And if he is successful, good. Okay, because see, I'm successful, so I don't get mad at nobody for being successful. Okay, I ain't no hater. He come back and he's successful, nothing happens, and so he starts to get comfortable. He comes back again, and then even he got security around him. They are there to protect him, but they are still somebody's children, and more than likely somebody's fathers. Okay, and so hey, I don't know if that's a good idea, because you have to know, like, Young Dolph has fans, and you never know who's radical. Okay, and so hey, I the for he takes a hiatus for 3 years basically, and no, it's been longer than 3 years. Two, three, 4, 5, 6, 4 years. I had to count on my fingers. I'm a little tired. Okay, it's been 4 years. Okay, hey, I'm sure he's got to make some money because I mean, I'm sure he gets creeped out if he. I don't think he wants to do it illegally. I don't think that would be a good thing. They'll get him faster than that'll he'll make the process faster as it relates to his get back. I'm talking about God's way, the justice way, right? And not to say that he still ain't doing it, but I'm sure that he wants to try to get back into rap. But he probably should have tried it in Houston first. Okay, coming back home, I don't know who's advising him, but I don't know if that's a good idea. I don't know if it's a good idea. I'm not saying anything bad would happen, but if I was on his team, I wouldn't. I would advise against that as of right now. Okay. So, like I said, if it would be a good thing if they had not done what they did, and they did it, and I don't know, and people know or feel that he was a part of this. So, y'all tell me in the comments. I want to hear what y'all got to say. Do you all think that it is a good thing for Youngsta after like a 4 year hiatus, okay, to come back and perform in Memphis, okay, coming off of his hiatus? So I'm sure Gotti has told him to hire some of the people at the police department, and that would be a good thing. I want to see all people safe, because I definitely don't want to see any innocent bystanders or anything like that getting hurt and people losing their lives. Okay, so I think it's a good thing to have MPD that down there, okay, as security, and to hire off-duty officers. Okay. Anyways, y'all get in the comments and tell me, what do y'all think about this? Do you all think it's okay, or do you think that it's a dangerous thing to do? Okay. Anyways, you guys, I want you all to please like, share, and subscribe. If you would like to support the channel, you could definitely support the channel via Cash App.